Okay guys, so today I'm going to share with you my homeschool space and my homeschool routine that I'm doing with my almost 4-year-old son, Mason. So we have our homeschool routine set up in the playroom and it's worked really well. I definitely plan in our next house to have it like a separate space away from toys, just because Mason obviously can get a little distracted seeing his toys in the space. So it worked for now, but when we move, we will be having a separate space. So I'm just gonna show you like an overview of everything and then I'll go into more detail. So right here I have my little like cabinet drawer space, and I have it pretty organized with all of his homeschool stuff. So that's what I have right here. Then right here I have our school day schedule. And as you can see, I've just written every single thing that we do in order, and then he knows, you know, what's coming up because I just point to it and say, okay, it's circle time, number time, etc. Then next to that, I have this chart of the alphabet, and he really enjoys that. Then up here, I have a map of the United States of America. That's really kind of cool. It has like different pictures for each state, so I tell him, you know, we're here in Virginia, Grandma and Grandpa are in Wisconsin, we used to live in North Carolina, things like that, and he really enjoys that. Then right here, I just have a list of class rules. Now, obviously, we're not a classroom space with like other kids, but I just thought this was cool and colorful and kind of, you know, had some good directions for homeschool as well. So I put that there. And that is what I have on this wall. Okay, so then over in this area, I have our circle time area, and I have a couple, well, right now I only have one pillow, but I usually have a couple pillows here. And this is the first area that we go to when we start our homeschool day. So first we have our weather, and I'll go into more detail in a minute, but then we have our calendar, our days of the week, and months of the year. So that is circle time. So now I'm gonna go through in more detail the like curriculum and schedule and all of that. And if you're wondering, pretty much everything that I got that's on the wall, actually, yeah, I got from Amazon, except for this poster came with a book set that Mason got, but everything else is from Amazon. And I just realized how crooked I hung that, but that's okay. I will try to link everything below. It was pretty easy. I just basically Googled like homeschool calendar, homeschool schedule, homeschool, you know, all that kind of stuff, weather chart, etc. So let's go into details. So our schedule that we do is one that I just made up on my own from memory of like teaching preschool and stuff like that. So as soon as we start homeschool, we have circle time. Here's a little welcome sign. Normally we start homeschool at about 10 o'clock because Presley goes down for a nap at 9:30, 10, and we have a good 2 hours to do our preschool. So we have circle time, numbers, writing, workbook, snack, letter project, shapes, math, and reading. That is what we cover 3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is when I'm homeschooling. On Tuesdays, Mason goes to Tinkergarten, and then on Thursday, he just, you know, relaxes, or we go to the park or something like that. We still incorporate homeschool, just it's not scheduled. So what we do is for circle time, we come over here and first we talk about what day it is. So normally I have my little pointer and I will say, okay, Mason, today is Wednesday, October 3rd, and we'll count to 3. And then if there's anything special that week, we'll talk about that. Any birthdays or holidays, like here we talked about what Columbus Day was. We had a field trip to the airport to pick up my mom on this day, and we'll just go over numbers. And sometimes he likes to just count to certain numbers or count to Halloween, just whatever like fun stuff we focus on the calendar, like what we have going on and stuff. And then right away we go over to our weather chart, and I let Mason go out the door. Our front door is right down there. He walks outside with me, of course, and we check what the weather's like. Then he comes over, and this was stuck to the back, but he puts, you know, if it's sunny and hot, rainy and cold, etc., he chooses the weather. And I remember as a kid, I loved the weather chart in the calendar. Like circle time was my favorite in preschool. But he really does enjoy that as well. And there's a little weather song that we sing. Then we come over here and we sing our days of the week song. We talk about which day it is, and we sing our song, and he loves the songs. He's really good at them, memorized them really quickly, so that's fun. Then we talk about the months of the year. We sing our months of the year song. We talk about what month it is. We talk about when his birthday is, when Halloween is, Christmas, because he's getting so excited for those things. So that is what we focus on in circle time. And like I said, all of this stuff is from Amazon, and I really love it. This calendar is awesome. It's really big, and it has all kinds of stuff that comes with it. So it has all of these different months, and then it has, you know, birthdays, different holiday tags, everything like that, so you can put them on your calendar as well. Also has more days. It's just awesome. I love it. Super cool. So then we go over here, and I am just gonna go through everything that I have in here, and then I'll talk more about the schedule and how I incorporate it. So what I have up here, first of all, is some chalk. So we can go outside, we can draw chalk, and Mason really enjoys that. Then I have these counting bears that we use for math, and I got these from Amazon. I love these. I remember as a kid how much I enjoyed the counting bears. And I also, when I bought this off Amazon, I got a huge download with different sheets and different activities and stuff. I am missing 2 cups. They're upstairs. I had to wash them, but these are the counting bears. They come with tweezers, like a huge activity download packet that is really helpful as well. So we have that we use for math. And then over here, I actually got this from Costco, and Mace is like obsessed with flags and states and countries and all of that stuff. So the pieces obviously all fell out, but this is a United States of America puzzle that he really enjoys. And then he also loves to tell time. So this came with a clock on the other side, and of course it fell, but it also comes with a workbook, which is a kind of advanced, some parts of it, but he does enjoy like the pictures and learning about each state. And so I thought that was really good for like little history lessons and stuff. Not that you do a lot of that in preschool, but he is really interested in that kind of stuff, like states and flags and all of that, so he does enjoy that. Then in the first drawer, looks messy, but it's pretty organized. So in here I just have markers, crayons, and glue sticks. Then I have all of our shapes, and these are actually just from Play-Doh. I just took all the shapes out of there, and there's a whole bunch, so that's really cool. We use those when we learn about shapes. Then in here I have a little project. This is just pasta in a bowl, and I use that for our letter project. When we're learning the letter of the week, he can put pasta in the letter that I drew to like kind of trace it out. He really enjoyed that. Then I have these little paper fasteners. These are just wheels for the drawer. In here I have scissors, pens, and some letters that I use for my felt board. And then I just have kids safety scissors for, whoops, learning to cut in there. Then in here we have all of our paintbrushes, another shape right there. And then these are flashcards. I know some people don't like flashcards, but my son did amazing with flashcards. So ever since he was little, I did this packet with him. We would do it every day, and he would just name, you know, what the picture was. Whoops. And he really enjoyed that, and it really helped him just learn his words, I guess. I don't know. I just found it really helpful, so I plan to use those with Presley as well. I also have shape and color cards, which I did with him as well, and we still do. And then my mom actually sent him these. So these are beginning words. So, you know, all different words. Apple, ball, things like that. Then these are Winnie the Pooh number matches, and he really loves these. Going over numbers, counting, all of that, really good with that one. These are just numbers. Then we have ABCs, colors, shapes, and more. And then this one are more number flashcards. And he is so smart, you guys. He just he flourishes with the flashcards. He does so well with them. Like, the kid can count to 100 and more. Like, it's crazy. He's just super smart. And I mean, he's been doing that since he was like, since he could talk. I feel like he learned to count really quickly and stuff. So some people don't like flashcards, but I am a big fan of them. They've been super, super helpful for Mason and his learning. So I'm all about those. But that is what I have in there. Then in here is more of the like curriculum type stuff that I do. So on our schedule we have circle time and then we do numbers, and with numbers we're basically tracing numbers, writing numbers, learning about numbers, maybe number flashcards. There's like a whole bunch of things that we can do. So I'm just going to show you all this stuff. I'm getting like all over the place. So these I have are for learning to like tie and learning to use eye-hand coordination, stuff like that. So he's got these that he can do, all different ones. Here's the shoe one. There's a butterfly and a crab. So he's got those. Then we actually got these books from Chick-fil-A, but they're really kind of cool. They're just little stories that I read to him, and he's got 2 of one, but a lot of them are like, I've been reading them so much that he has them memorized. Same with like any of his books, really. We read so much and so much of the same that he has them memorized. But then we also have this one from Highlights that he got in a pack along with the American flag map. But this is cool. You just look for different pictures. So we'll kind of do this when we have our reading time. We'll just sit back and like try to find the pictures. And some of them are kind of tough, but he does really, really well. And he really enjoys that. So that's fun too. Then I have a math book here that I got from Target. It was like $1, I think, but he has really enjoyed this. We've been using this since he was like really little, and he's really enjoyed it. So there's just all different pages, and when he completes it I put a sticker. He just loves it. Like, he loves this stuff, loves numbers, you know. He's just doing really, really awesome with that. So he really enjoys that book. And then this one is Same or Different, just talking about how things are similar or different, and he does really good with those. Really enjoys it. So that's another workbook that we do. Then I got this book on Amazon as well from Melissa and Doug, and it is a scissor skill book. These are really cool. We've already done a couple. So we did the barn, and you basically just cut out the pieces and then put them back as a puzzle. And this teaches kids how to use scissors. So these have been really fun. It gets a little more tricky as you go. But I like these, you know, like to just really learn how to use scissors. So I think it's fun. And then we can also incorporate this, like when we learn about F, then we can do the farm or the barn, or actually I think for F I was doing fish, wherever it is. No, there's a fish in here somewhere. There you go, F for fish. So it's really cool. This is a really helpful book, and it did come with scissors as well for the kids. Then we have this book also from Target. All of these bigger activity books and the dry erase books are from Target. Or actually this one was from Walmart. There we go. But this is the Pretty Learning Starting School Workbook, ages 4+. So he's not 4 just yet, but he does enjoy this. So basically what I do is I go through and I find which page I want him to do. So for numbers, we found any page that had to do with numbers. So, you know, he'd count the airplane, write the number, etc. Some of these got a little messy because I didn't wipe them off right away, but yeah, that's what he did. So I just basically go through, find something that has to do with whatever we're focusing on, numbers, you know, shapes, math, etc. So that is one book we really enjoy. Okay, so this is the Bob's book, Beginning Readers Workbook, and basically what I do, I wrote numbers in alphabet form because he loves to go over that. But what I do is I just rip out the pages from that activity and then we do them. So I'll show you what they look like in a second, but this book is awesome. This is what I use for the letters of the day, and all of his like writing stuff like that. Then this one is learning to write pen control. He loves this book, you guys. I guess this one was Walmart as well. Forgot. We've done this a few times, just learning to write lines, starting here, you know. So it's following directions, control with your hand, learning to hold a pen, writing, all of that. And he just loves this stuff. So we just do as many pages as he wants. And when he's kind of over it, then I'm like, okay. But I do like to kind of focus, like when we're at shape time, we'll do shapes, etc. But sometimes he likes to just keep going and do as many, you know, if he's really into it. Other times he does a page or two of what I suggested first, and then he's good. So as long as we get the things done that I wanted, then I don't care if he's done. Okay, so that's what's in there. And then in this last drawer is kind of like his progress binder, just for me keeping track of how he's doing. So what I have is when we do writing time, that is when we're writing his name. So it's really important to me that he learns to write his name, obviously. So I kind of progress it. So this was the beginning of September, tracing. Had kind of a little bit of an off time on this day, but I make him, you know, practice it at least twice, and he needs to do his best job. Sometimes, of course, I'm his mom, so he likes to be funny and goof off and do it silly, so I make him, you know, show me his very best, and he does good. So there's some more progress and some more, so I like to just have that every single day, and we put that in there, and then I can just, you know, track how well he's writing his name and how well, you know, it's changing and he's getting better at it. Come on, get in there. Okay, so then I have a bunch of folders. So this is going back to the Bob's book. So these are different worksheets. So I'm just gonna show you an example of like the workbook stuff from a day. I think this is all it. So you basically learn about the letter A. So what we would do is we would do one letter a week. We wouldn't do A and B. So we, you know, follow the directions, color the apple, color the ant, etc. And he did color. He was kind of like not that into it at first, but then we learn to write the letter A, color the apples, etc. These are very basic, like preschool worksheets. Trace the A, write the A. So we just do that, and then on the back, you know, they just have worksheets. So we just get through the letter, and then here was like a shapes page. So I just rip it out, and then I have it so that I can keep track and just, you know, like track his progress and stuff like that. So he does really, really good. He's just so smart, and I'm just having so much fun doing all this with him. So we've done quite a bit. He's really, really into numbers. He really loves to write numbers, and he's just so smart. I don't know. I can't get over how smart he is. It's just awesome. So then I will write the date so that I can be organized. I'm just gonna throw this stuff in here now, but I will go back and, you know, look at it. But then here's our letter of the day stuff. So I do different activities, but I have a basic sheet. So when we learned A, I wrote the letters. I don't have the best handwriting, but then, like I said, we used the pasta and put it in the letters. For B, I can't remember exactly what we did. C, D, we just colored. When we learned one letter, we took pieces of construction paper and taped them like a zebra. When we did Z, I have it hanging on the fridge. So just different activities for the letters of the day. Then I keep that in here, and then the other folders are just whatever, you know, else I find that I want to put in there. Then in here I have some flags. Mason really loves flags, so just drew him some flags. There's like a funny skeleton one. Then I have a ton of construction paper for painting and projects. He loves to paint, so we do a lot of that, things like that. So that is what we have going there, and that basically covers our schedule. So like I said, with the materials that I have, I just pick and choose what I want for the workbook, the writing, shapes, math, reading, etc., numbers. I just go through what I have and kind of create my little lesson plan. And then I have a notebook that's upstairs, of course, but I write down our schedule each day, and then next to it I write down what we're doing, and I write my whole plan, you know, for what I want to do that day. And then we do our best to just stick to it, get it done. But if, you know, he's really not feeling something, we kind of just move on, because like I said, I want him to think school is fun. I want him to be able to follow direction and listen. That's why we have a schedule, and that's why our first focus is to get through the main things that I planned. But after that, then it's, you know, whatever he'd like to do. Yeah, so I hope that this gives you an idea of what I do for homeschool for my almost 4-year-old.